Hey guys, Jason here. Another video for you. I am kind of, I don't know, I guess you could say I'm a little paranoid about our air conditioning going out. Luckily in our house we had an addition that somebody put on shortly after the house was built, and so we do have two HVAC systems. That had saved us once before when this happened, but just because they're cheap and super easy to replace, I decided that I'm just going to keep a capacitor on hand for each of our units, because those are the #1 parts that usually fail, and they're a little bit hard to get, at least where we're at here in Nebraska. So I thought I'd just keep a couple of those on hand in case one of them does go out. I can just swap it out and be up and running fairly quickly. So let me show you what you need to do for that. Okay, this is the unit here. That gray conduit is where your wiring comes from. So just follow that into your condenser unit. Take out the screws in that area. Okay, underneath here you're going to find your contactor. And then right above that here is my capacitor. Yours probably looks a lot different. This is a pretty old system. Don't touch any of this wiring because it is live. If you follow your conduit that I was just talking about and go back up here, you can find your box, and there's a couple of different styles, but this, if you pull that out, that's kind of like flipping the breaker, so you can do that while you're changing this out, or actually go flip your breaker. And then it's always nice to have a non-contact tester to make sure there's no power. In my case, I don't actually need to change this now. We're just getting the numbers so we can get a replacement. So right here you see 50 plus 5 VF, 370 volts. Okay, now this unit here is running, so hopefully it's not too loud. And I thought it's kind of nice that I have both, so I can show you two completely different styles, but the general idea of it is all pretty simple and similar. Again, the box I have is here. There's my conduit, so I know that my capacitor is right here. And there you go, same thing, the contactor and the capacitor. This one's much smaller, and this one is a 35.5, 440 volts, 50-60 hertz. What normally happens with these is you can look at the top right here where the terminals are. When they go out, they'll kind of bubble out, so you can look at the bottom as well, but a lot of times it's the top of those, and they'll kind of get like a bubble on the top of them. When they're good, they're completely flat, and then it's got the terminals up there. But literally all you do is take those 5 wires or so, sometimes there's only 2, unplug them from the one capacitor and plug them into the other. It's super simple. Don't spend $150 for a service call to get this done. Okay, and just to give you a little bit more information on the capacitors. So you notice that mine had 2 numbers. Some older systems have 2 different capacitors, a start capacitor and a run capacitor. Most newer ones, or anything, you know, probably mid to late 80s and newer, have just one single like mine. So the numbers on those are microfarads, and basically the larger number, that's going to be around 40 or so depending on the size of your unit, is the start capacitor. That is what gives your motor the kind of initial kick when it turns on to get it going, and then once it's up to speed, then the smaller number takes over, which is usually 5 to 10. So that is what you need to pay attention to when you order your new ones. And here's just some things I found online, some basic kind of indications that it might be your capacitor that's having problems. The AC takes time to begin a cooling cycle, or it won't start at all. The AC randomly shuts off on its own. You can't feel any cold air on your home while it's running. It has a humming noise during operation, or you have like a burning smell while outside by the unit. That actually did happen to me a couple years back. It's a very distinct smell. And other reason would be if your energy bill just jumped way up too high, way higher than you normally would expect, and there's no other explanation for it. So anyway, maybe you can find a replacement capacitor locally, or order one ahead of time and keep it on hand, like I'm going to do, and then that'll save you that $150 service call, and also you won't have to wait to be back up and running again. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for other helpful tips. Check out my other videos. Comment if you have questions, and share it out to your friends. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.